breaking news.
Breaking news in central Iowa this morning after a powerful storm caused emergencies all over the state.
We've been stranded out here. We're at a gas pump. I'm standing on top of it right now because this parking lot filled with water in just minutes.
What started as dozens of people, some waiting as long as 9 p.m. out here, has grown to hundreds. And we can't even see the NAP Center. That's how large this line is. I didn't know if you got a good shot of it earlier, but if we move over here, you can see how this one has just caved in.
But first, we want to really just zoom out from the perspective on me and show you the scale of the media operation here at the Iowa Events Center.
Hey, it's Lauren Donovan, and you're watching Great News on
A real spine-tingling treat coming up for you this morning. We'll learn how movie soundtrack composers create those creepy tunes. You know, the ones that literally make us jump out of our seats.
We've been here on scene for about the past 20 minutes, and they say it was pretty terrifying. Before their alarms went off this morning, they heard the smoke alarms, and that caused them to try to escape, actually, through the hallway, but the smoke and the heat was just too much. So you can see a lot of windows on this first story are all open. That's because they opened up their windows and tried to flee out that way. Now, looking into those windows, the good news is we don't see any damage in these apartments, but over where those firefighters are right now, to the left, through that doorway, you can see it is smoky and ashy.
Right now, the mayor of Perry says that Tyson is not doing enough, not taking extreme enough measures after those positive COVID-19 cases surfaced at the plant. We know there are positive cases of COVID-19 among the hundreds of factory workers here at Tyson's Perry facility. But how many? State Auditor Rob Sands says this is no longer a private matter. In this pandemic, the public has the right to know.
Would Dr. Padati be violating the same rules that she established if they did indeed decide to withhold that information from the public?
From what I have seen of the rules, then the Iowa Department of Public Health is bumping up against their own rules that they've written.
We spoke to this woman who tested positive on the phone. However, her English is limited and she fears retaliation. For that reason, her daughter Karina will be speaking on her behalf, and we have decided not to use her last name.
People that I know are going to die, and I have to mentally prepare for that.
Perry native Karina will be the first to tell you how tight-knit her hometown is.
Everybody grocery shops at the same places. Everybody goes to the same gas stations.
So when the news broke April 17th that workers at the Tyson plant in Perry tested positive, immediately she called her mom.
I was like, "Mom, how are you?" And she's like, "Everybody's calling me, worrying, freaking out."
Karina says 2 decades ago, her mother immigrated to Dallas County from Mexico. She's been a loyal employee at Tyson ever since. But that trust began to turn on April 18th, the day she began showing symptoms.
And then the 19th, my brother had a really terrible fever.
Her mother continued working at the plant despite these symptoms. She tells us Tyson mandated temperatures be taken before each shift, which made her feel safe. However, she says when Tyson tested her and more than 1,200 employees on April 25th, her temperature was not taken. She tells us that and a lack of social distance made her feel extremely vulnerable as she waited for hours in this line.
There were so many people there and everybody was crowded.
5 days later, on April 30th, her mother says she tested positive for COVID-19. She tells us she's not entirely sure who called her with the results, but it was certainly not Tyson. The caller identified themselves as a healthcare professional. In the days that followed, someone called her back to check in. She says the person on the line told her she could return to work after 3 days without a fever.
The person that called her had said she was good to return to her normal life, even though she was still symptomatic.
According to Karina's mother, this is the only correspondence she has received from Tyson. Screenshots she sent to us from the company's corporate mass text messaging service reveal Tyson held another round of tests on May 1st for those who were not already tested. The union and company have agreed employees will have guaranteed pay for 1 week, and that Tyson is offering $30 extra per day for employees who come into work from May 4th through the end of the month. They're calling it a We Care bonus. According to her mother, she never received a formal letter from the company about this.
It seems like everything that they're doing is without a paper trail.
I asked Tyson about these text messages. The company responded in part, quote, All employees who have tested positive will remain on sick leave until they have satisfied official health requirements outlined by the CDC for return to work. And we have an increased short-term disability coverage to 90% of normal pay until June 30th to encourage team members to stay home when they are sick. The company has doubled its thank you bonus for its frontline workers and team members who cannot come to work because of illness or childcare issues related to COVID-19 will continue to qualify. Karina says the company's lack of communication shows an absence of accountability.
It doesn't seem like they care. It seems like they care about the money in their pockets.
Karina tells us it's time for state leaders to put sentiments of concern into action.
Do you actually care? How do you show that you care? How will you hold these community or companies accountable?
Covering Dallas County, Lauren Donovan, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
Give her a kiss.
Can I get a kiss?
Kiss.
Oh,
She
wants a hug. Stella loves hugs, and I appreciate this because I needed a hug. A lemonade creamsicle. It's at the Bacon Box over at the Iowa State Fair, and you guys, it is amazing. It's way better than my coffee this morning. We'll just say that. And joining me for a taste of it is Governor Kim Reynolds.
Good morning.
Leaves are dying.
You notice when he's not here.
And the wind chill can feel unbearable.
He's just a genuinely nice guy.
It didn't matter to me. Good morning. Have a great day now.
It's refreshing.
But this
Then you round that corner over there and he's out there dancing, he's singing.
is Scotty Harris's season.
But in the rain and the cold, everybody comes in.
If the electric pink wasn't a giveaway, this 68-year-old is anything but dreary.
I'm a colorful man. Good morning, ma'am.
His spectrum of tailor-made suits makes him easy to spot in the Des Moines Skywalk.
You know, you see the guys on the corner, you're thinking they're begging. But a lot of guys know I'm here to give.
Good morning.
For AM commuters, he's become an attraction of sorts.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good.
I noticed you weren't here yesterday.
And at times, even an information booth.
And when you get to another crossroad, take a left.
Noticed him on the skywalk when he had a shoe sign. A little spot over here.
That's long gone, but he still services from 6 to 8 a.m., buff, polish, and cloth, replaced with greetings and goodwill.
We just kind of been talking every day since.
I call this the crossroad.
With Harris's sunny disposition, the reality of his cloud-covered past can be hard to comprehend.
That was the kid that your mother would say, don't play with him. And to get forward, you get into the drug life. Good morning, my friend. Have a good day now.
Then a chance encounter with a Des Moines shoe shiner put a new fire in his heart.
Good morning. Have a great day now.
In 2011, he decided to leave his home of Atlanta and follow that man back here to Iowa.
When I was doing the work for the devil, I was on the corner. Now I can do the work for the God on the corner.
Standing faithfully at this new intersection, Harris keeps the cross close to his heart.
Anybody need fixing?
In hopes of someday, just maybe, helping you cross yours.
People don't stop and say hello. It's made me more friendly to other people when I'm walking.
Someone giving you a smile and saying hello goes further than you think.
It's time to go. Jesus, he gave me one promise that I live by. If I wake you up in the morning, I will provide for you. And my thing is, if he wake me up, I'm going to give him my best.
Reporting in Des Moines, Lauren Donovan, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader. Close it. And talk about wiper blades. This is an issue that comes up more often than you would think. We've got some Windex and paper towels to help. One way to increase the longevity of your blades, which may be sticking around, mine are right now with all this ice, is just spray it a little bit and wipe that rubber part down. Fire that happened here overnight is leaving this town in an absolute haze. This smoking and singed pile of rubble is all that remains of Ogden's only grocery store, following an explosive fire here Saturday night.
And when it finally got air, it went boom. It flashed over so bad, so quick. They told me the National Weather Service seen it on the satellite.
But that blast wasn't all Boone County fire crews were committed to.
Train derailment, straight to a fire, straight to another fire. It's long.
The troubles began at 6 that evening on the rail lines behind the Boone Hy-V.
We saw a couple cars that were sideways on the tracks, one of them awfully close to the back end of Hy-V.
Tangled in power lines and reeking of gas. Derailed Union Pacific train cars took out a gas main, a utility pole, and a couple of cars in the parking lot.
Immediately we evacuated Hy-Vee. We had great help on scene. I mean, within minutes, they had the entire store evacuated.
The situation was just getting manageable. Then 7 p.m. hits and a call comes in. 10 miles away, the Ogden Food Mart was going up in flames.
Went from one thing, ended up with Boone back over here with their aerial.
Business was going good.
We found the owner waiting for the state fire marshal's report. Heartbroken, just this January, he'd taken over the grocery store.
But after 9 months, this happened.
Ogden's fire chief tells us they believe the fire began in the kitchen.
Hard on a small community to lose their grocery store.
This is all that's left of it now. Looking for a bit of rest, around the stroke of midnight, crews were thrown another curveball. A home back in Boone had erupted in flames.
So we hopped in the truck and headed over this way.
I didn't hear a thing. Didn't wake up or nothing.
You can see from the soot staining on the building, we had fire coming out of the garage door here and out of the windows on this side of the building.
Authorities say both the man and his dog that live here made it out okay. We spoke to his neighbor.
I talked to him this morning, he's okay.
Which is astounding when you walk inside and see the damage for yourself. Needless to say, after 30 plus hours awake, these crews are ready to hit the hay.
Sleep I can stand, but I'm ready for a shower. I've been eating smoke long enough that I'm ready to get some of it off me.
Covering Boone County, Lauren Donovan, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
Good morning from New York City. Today, I get to go meet with the CBS This Morning crew and get to check out the CBS Broadcast Center. I'm kind of freaking out and I'm very excited, so stay tuned because it's obviously going to be awesome.